Hey, good morning. Chuck here at Apple Drains. Let me show you what we're doing today. So we're going to run a discharge, a 2-inch line. You can see the pipe laying there. We've already started it in the rear. We're going to bring that right out here to the sidewalk, to the corner, at the corner of the sidewalk and the driveway. Let that pop up. We've got some obstacles. We've got reclaimed water for the irrigation. But the real problem back here is that they went ahead and installed a Generac. We are right here on the ocean, and people are very concerned about losing power during a hurricane. So they installed a Generac, and they had to put propane tank down in the ground. So they came through here and just left us a mess. But it kind of helped. We were able to just lay some pipe right there in the trench. We excavated the rest of it all the way back, and we're getting ready to backfill some of this. Whoa, sorry. But back here, we're going to put in a sump pump and add some collection to the area. So this 2-inch line is just the discharge, and it only needs to be, a shovel deep. It's all under pressure. But what they've got is the neighbor's yard is extremely high, and you can kind of see how it's coming from back here. It's just all pouring down into this area, and it floods really bad back in here. So we're going to put a sump basin right over here by the shed. We're going to lift that water up, send it over, and pump it all the way out to the street. So if you've got a really good pump, this is pretty easy to do. You really need a good 1/2 horsepower pump to be able to handle this much water. This is a tremendous amount of water that collects back here. So you really need a good pump. In addition, we're going to add some French drain over here, and you can kind of see this little bowl valley. See how high it is over there? And of course the neighbor's yard's higher. So we're going to put in a French drain with some catch basins. The catch basins will probably solve all this problem, but we'll go ahead and catch that underground water as well. Send that over and tie into that sump pump as well on the back side of the shed, and then lift it all up and send it all the way out to the street. You do see that they've got groundwater as an issue. Can you see this water down here? A lot of groundwater. But what they did was they put in a propane tank. There's the tank. And they're going to put a generator, the Generac, and code calls for it to be so far away from the house. A lot of code here on the beach, but it'll be out here. So they went ahead and put that in, and that's what they excavated here. They broke a lot of irrigation lines. We'll make those repairs as well. But shouldn't take us but, maybe 4 or 5 hours. We'll have this all done. So backfill, put our sod back on. You can see the groundwater. See all that water that collected in the trench? That's why we're doing this work. We're going to put a sump basin. Right here's the sump basin. We're going to put that basin right here and collect that water from clear over there on the other side of the yard. You can see how low that area is over there. It's like a bowl. And you can kind of see even the sod's a different color, because when it rains, water just sits there for a whole day or longer. And we need to move that water all the way around this shed to a sump pump right here. We'll put a collection for a catch basin and more French drain across this direction, tie into the sump basin. We're going to pump it all the way out. And like I said, it may not seem like a big difference, but 2-inch pipe is huge compared to 1.5 inches when we're moving water with a pump. So things are looking real good. We've got that discharge line buried all the way out. Now we're actually bringing the line over here from another sump pump to tie into this line. It's going to lift it up here. This is the beginning of the line. We're going to put a catch basin and some French drain across here. Then we're going to lift it up, send it out, tie into the 2-inch, and send it all the way out to the front. So you can see the trench here for the French drain, and you can see that groundwater just as we dig. It just fills up, and we solve these problems every day. This is what we have to contend with, especially when you're out here on the beach. And you can see it's just totally saturated. couple of catch basins back here, French drain between the catch basins, comes down. It's going to tie into an existing sump basin. We're going to take that basin and get rid of that discharge, send a new discharge over, and tie it into our 2-inch line. So we've got 2 sump pumps going into the 2-inch discharge. Should be fine. Should be able to keep up with a way big Mother Nature rains. Huge, humongous rainfall now we can keep up with. Okay, we're going to start with a 9x9 catch basin. Real important. See the plug? The plug goes to the outside, not the inside of the basin, because it's the soil that holds that tight. Then we're going to hook up the first piece of easy flow, hook up our first piece of easy flow, and it just slides in here and snaps together. Perfect. We want to be just a little bit below grade. We are, and you can kind of see the bowl. Water comes down the hill, drops into the basin. It's also going to collect that subsurface water that it just showed you down underneath of there. We're going to put another catch basin over here. This is just a 6x6, but it's more than enough. Put our grate on the top and continue on down the line. Another piece of easy flow. Really pretty easy after you got your trench dug to put these things together. Just perfect. We're just going to continue that on down. We'll push that line goes quite deep. We'll push that down in the trench. Perfect. Let's get some more easy flow. Then we're using an external coupling. This is a 4-inch. Hear it click in place. Snaps in place. Keep it going. Nice. Coupling goes in. One last piece of easy flow. Snap that in place. We're almost to the basin. So we can just step it on down in the trench. Looking good. It's already picking up that water. Looking so good. So good. Nice. So that's ready to backfill. Let's move on. So again, this is woven fabric, and you know where we are in the sand, in the silt that is so fine, this works much better than non-woven fabric, I promise you. And you can punch all the holes in that non-woven stuff, but I mean, that's just so silly. You know, all these people talked about it, you know, first part of the year, and now, oh well, we have to punch holes in it to make it work because water does not go through, and then you have to line up the holes or it won't work. This is a much better fabric, and this is available at Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace. It really is a much better fabric, even in the clay. So we're going to slide this on top of our 4-inch pipe. Remember, this is perforated. It's got slots all the way around it. And we're just going to use this because it'll help pick up a little bit more water, but really we're just making a connection. If you can see it, we're just making a connection from here to there. And we're going to use a 4-inch exterior coupling. Snaps in place. This is going to go into the T down here. A little bit of work to get this on here, but you can see how quickly the silt gets into that line. It gets in there really fast. Get this in there, snaps in place, nice. Pull our fabric up and over and around. Make sure it's tight. No need for tape. That's not at all needed here. Pull this back a little ways and it'll snap in place here. Perfect. Pull our fabric tight. And this one you can actually leave bundled up. Not going to make any difference. This is a woven material, and you can see as I stretch it, you can see right through there. So can you see through that pipe? This is woven material and it works much better. You see the silt? It does not get through there, but the water does. It works so much better, so much better. Okay, this is ready to backfill right here, and we're almost done. So that's where we got to today. We always think we can finish it all at once, but sometimes you can't. We started the trench from the fence over to the sump basin. That's going to be a French drain across through there. Catch basin right at the fence, because that yard's about 2 feet higher than this one, and you can see it's about 3 feet higher, the house behind this one. Just floods back here, and we did add catch basins and it went over to the other sump pump, but they want that water out of here, so we need to add another pump so it can pump faster and collect more water. So we've got discharge line coming out, tie that in. We're going to bring the other sump pump line across, ready to put that in tomorrow. You saw me put in the easy flow and the catch basins. We'll finish backfilling that tomorrow, and we'll be pretty much done. There's just, a lot of work when it's just really just one guy. Mostly Chuck dug all of this. I'm just putting pipe together. He dug pretty much all of this, and so there's what, 170 feet of discharge, 70 feet of easy flow, and I mean, he dug all that. What a worker. What a worker. And it's only about 1 o'clock. It's not like it's really late here, but that's plenty for today. Got the sod back on here in the front. We'll finish cleaning all this up again tomorrow, but this is all going to settle really nice. Really, really nice. You can see it comes all the way out, right out to the grate. Excuse me. When that pump kicks on, it's going to pump up and flood out and right over down into the storm drain. Okay, from the 2-inch fitting that we're bringing our 1.5 inch into, we're going to make a measurement from the inside of this coupling to the measurement inside of the 45, which is going to turn and run down the trench. Doesn't have to be exact at this point. Nice clean cut. Then we'll dry fit it to make sure everything's in good working spots. Just dry fit. Perfect. And you can see that's going to turn and run right down to the sump basin right over there. So you can see our connection from the 1.5 inch pipe, that's this line coming from the sump pump on the other side of the shed, to the 2-inch line. Okay, so we've got the new Zoller pump installed in the sump basin, and you can see the 1.5 inch. I like to use these no hubs to offset things because the guys don't dig straight, but that's fine. We go to 2-inch. We've got the other sump pump line coming over. It tees into this line, and of course it runs all the way out here to the front. Chuck's finishing covering up, just a real quick cleanup, and we're not worried too much about cleanup here because this is sand, and as soon as it rains, that's just going to disappear completely and settle back flat. This is a propane tank that other people installed, and it's just kind of a muddy mess, but it's all going to be fine. They'll put new sod back here. Line comes out. Let's see a couple of cycles that went through there. It's a long line. Oh yeah, that water came right out. It's a 2-inch line, and you can see we haven't secured the grate, and when it kicks on, it just pushes that right off of there. Very powerful pump. So we'll secure that, and we're just about done. So you can see this is going to be the French drain that runs over to the fence. You can see that pump kick on, and it easily keeps up with this flow, no problem. The water you see spitting out, that's the pressure relief valve. Everything's looking really good. Water's just coming in. We're going to hook up the pipe, gravel perforated pipe, and we're all done. Do you remember the clip from the previous video that I just posted about soggy soil? I'll put it after this clip. The difference between this fabric and the non-woven geotextile, even if you punched holes in it, what a joke. You really have to see it to believe it. But this is what we deal with every day. This is called a soggy yard. Not clay. This is pure saturated soil. Look at this. You know, this is where you go to the beach and you make those sand castles. You know what I'm talking about? This is what we deal with every day, and we solve these problems guaranteed 100%. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.